Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Adults After Dark. I am your host, Mimi. Thank you all for tuning in tonight and for tuning in each and every Friday. Um, we are continuing tonight's episode of Adults After Dark with the topic of gender roles. But before we get started discussing gender roles, we will kind of recap on last week, which was holding grudges. As you know, guys, I told you that I am one for holding grudges. I can hold a grudge for a very, very, very long time, depending on what the problem is that, you know, that we encounter to make me actually hold that grudge. But yeah, I can hold a grudge for quite a while. And as I was reading some of the information in the online magazines that we were discussing, some of the things as far as holding grudges, as far as the what am I trying to say? The root of the problem. Some of the things that I was reading, I didn't know that I actually did until I started reading that and was thinking about it and figured that I was that person with those issues. So, yeah, like I said, I can hold a grudge. I know it's not healthy and I'm kind of trying to get out of that. But, it's a process. So, I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'll keep you updated on how that goes. So tonight's episode is gender roles. Now, everybody have their different opinion of gender roles. It depends on who you're asking. But let me read this and say, what are gender roles? Gender roles in society means we're expected to act, speak, dress, groom, and conduct ourselves based upon our assigned sex. For example, girls and women are generally expected to dress in a typically feminine way and be more polite, accommodating, and nurturing. So like I said, everybody have different opinion of what gender roles are. Men are generally expected to be strong, aggressive, and bold. I guess you can kind of look at this as, in different perspectives. So for like me, I kind of don't really believe in gender roles, and I think that's because my mom was a single mom. It's me and my sibling. So things that needed to get done, excuse me, there was no male figure in the house to do those things. Say like if you needed someone to take out the trash or fix something around the house or things like that, there was no man. There was not a male figure, a man in the house to do those things. My mom had to do those things. And so, me being female, I was taught that you don't wait on a man for anything. You can't really depend on a man for a lot of things. So some of the things you need to learn how to do yourself. Now, I have a brother. My brother, I don't know if he is a handyman or Mr. Fix-It or something. I'm not really sure. He lives in another state, so I'm really not sure how he and his wife, figure those things out. Now, I do know his wife does 90% of the cooking. She's a stay-at-home mom, and he gets up and goes to work 6 days a week. I know that he um, gives her whatever she needs on the bills and things like that. Household things, whatever they need for house, that I do know. But as far as other things that go on in their house, I really don't know. Now, for me, I have a husband. My husband is pretty handy. Now, before we were married, let's put this way, when I was a single person living by myself, um, it was just me and my daughter. There was a lot of things that needed to be done, and there was not a male figure in my house as far as me dating someone that can do those things. Now I did have this one friend. It depended on what was needed. I can probably call him and ask him to do it. But 90% of the things I did on my own. So, a lot of women would say that men are supposed to like empty the garbage, cut the grass, shovel the snow, mop the floors, work on cars, be handy and fix things around the house. And women are supposed to cook, clean, take care of the home, take care of the children, do the shopping, and all of this kind of thing. Those are my things as I consider what gender roles would be. So the husband would go to work, bring home the bacon, and the wife would fry it up. I don't think that way. I think that whatever a man can do, a woman can do. Now, in my household, I don't wait on my husband to take out the garbage. I don't wait on him to cut the grass. I don't wait on him to shovel the snow. If something around the house needs to be fixed, it has to be something minor because I'm not handy. If it's something minor like changing a light bulb or screwing in, putting a new screw in something or something like that, tightening up a cabinet or something like that, I can do that. That's not a problem. Now, my husband doesn't wait on me to go to the grocery store. He doesn't wait on me to cook. He doesn't wait on me to clean. He doesn't wait on me to do laundry. If those things need to be done and he sees that it needs to be done, then he gets it done, and same with me. Now I can say before he got sick and couldn't or can't do a lot of the things that he normally does, I will take out the garbage. So we have a one of those dumpsters in the backyard where we take the house garbage out and just put it in there. So we know the garbage man come on Friday. So Thursday night we'll make sure that the trash is out to the alley so they can pick it up and get fresh trash cans right. I'll go through the house, empty all the garbage, make sure if I need to take it to the alley, I'll take it to the alley, the night before or a couple of days before or whatever. I don't wait on him to do that. If it snows, I don't wait on him to go out there and shovel the snow. I will go out there and shovel the snow myself. Now, he used to get really upset with me, but I just feel like I want to get the snow while it's still soft and movable and all that stuff. Now, he will sit there and say it's snowing right now, and in the morning the snow is tapering down. I will just get up, going out there and shovel the snow. He won't do it until later on that afternoon. By that time, the snow then then froze. It had turned into ice. It didn't get hard. Maybe the salt truck's been and came by and pushed all the stuff up against the cars. I don't want to work hard like that. So when I get up in the morning, if I see that it snowed, I will go out there. I'll clean, shovel the porch, shovel the stairs, the walkway, all in front of our house. I will clean off the cars. If both cars are sitting out there, I will clean both of them off, and I will shovel around the cars so we are able to get in and out. Mainly, I will shovel around my car because I have a small car. He has a truck. I think he has a 4-wheel drive on his truck, so it doesn't really matter with him because he can maneuver out. But with me, I have a small car. I have a little Nissan, so I will have to shovel all that snow from around the car so I can get in and out, and then not put it in the middle of the street because once it freezes, it's gonna be ice, and I don't want to be trying to maneuver through all that stuff, right? So he used to get upset with me when I go out there and shovel the snow. And I had to tell him, I'm not going to wait on you to do that. If it needs to be done, then it needs to be done. And I don't like waiting on things to get done. I want them done right then. Now he has never complained about me mopping the floors. I just feel like if he wasn't here, I would still have to do it. So why not just do it? Like I said, he doesn't wait on me to cook. If I cook, I cook. If I don't, I don't. I mean, it's simple as that. He can cook, which was one of the good reasons. One of the reasons that made me fall for him because I'm like, oh, you can cook? Cool. That means I don't have to do it all the time. So, yeah, he doesn't wait on me to cook. Like I said, if I cook, I cook. If I don't, I don't. If he's down in the basement and he see that the laundry needs to be done, he'll do the laundry while he's down in the basement doing whatever they say he's doing. Okay? Now, I think that's the way it should be. This is both of our home. What needs to be done needs to be done. Now, I can say I'm not trying to do no electricals. I'm not trying to do no ceiling fans, putting up no ceiling fans or putting in no drywall, nothing like that. Now, not to say that I can't do it. I can say that I've never done it. And if it comes down to it, then if I have to do it, then I learn how to do it. But in the meantime, I don't have to do it. If it's something like, lifting something heavy, then I would ask for help. He may just do it. Even like with the laundry. If the laundry is in the basement, we have to bring it all the way upstairs to put it up. He would bring all the laundry up the stairs. He wouldn't let me carry the heavy bag. Or if he see me carrying the heavy bag, he would just grab the bag himself and just bring it up. Or he'll at least bring it to the first level, and then whenever he come upstairs, he'll bring it up. He just tell me leave it there. He'll bring it. Yesterday, that was this morning. So I went in. When I got out the bed this morning, I went downstairs and I cleaned up the kitchen. He was still sleeping. He said, oh, I was going to take care of the kitchen when I woke up. I said, oh, it's no problem. It needs to be done. I'm not going to wait on you to go clean the kitchen. I took the dogs out for a walk this afternoon. When I came back, he had started on breakfast. So he's not waiting on me to do those things, just like I'm not waiting on him to get those things done unless it's something that I cannot do. Now, he would change like the tires or change the light bulbs in the car, for the blinkers and things like that. He'll do things like that. If there's a flat tire, he'll change the tire. Now, he showed me how to change a tire when I first got my car, but I have never changed a tire. That's not to say that I can't change a tire just because I haven't done it. Now, if it comes down to what I have to change a tire, then I'll figure it out, So yeah, I think there's different things as far as gender roles. Um, everybody have their different opinion of gender roles. So, yeah, depending on who you ask, as far as what they think gender role is. So, yeah, so here's an article of what they are defining as gender roles. Um, and it doesn't say, unless it's all the way at the bottom, let me check. It doesn't say what article, what magazine this is from. But it is, this one is, what are gender roles and stereotypes? Now, I guess, like I said, it depends on who you ask as far as it being a stereotype, because you have those older generations that taught their children and their children as far as the biblical term. Now, I'm not going to get into the Bible and stuff because I'm not, I'm not the religious or spiritual person or anything, but if you talk to some people, they will tell you that that's what it says in the Bible, is that the man is the breadwinner. They take care of the home, um, pay the bills, the mortgage, the rent, car, whatever a masculine role would be, what someone would consider a masculine role, and the woman would take care of the home, the children, the cooking, the laundry, taking them to school, ironing, all these other kind of things. So, I used to look at this show years ago. It's called I Love Lucy. How back in the day, Lucy was the housewife. She stayed home. She got up early in the morning, cooked Ricky's breakfast, and did the laundry and whatever she needed to do while Ricky went out to work at the club and brought home the money. Um, Same with a bunch of shows like that. That was what women were, what they say supposed to do. So you have the older generation that taught their children how to be housewives and things like this. There's this lady that I used to follow on YouTube. She actually took her channel down sometime last year because she was being harassed. She was a stay-at-home mom. Her husband worked, but he actually worked from home as well. And her channel was more of cooking and cleaning and taking care of the children and homeschooling and things like that. And she has a son and a daughter, and a lot of her videos where she teaching her daughter how to be a housewife. Now, me personally, I think that if you have sons, whether you are a mother or father, and you have sons, I think that as a parent, you need to teach your son and your daughter how to cook, how to clean, how to do laundry, how to grocery shop. Everything that you would teach your daughter, you should teach your son. Because who's to say that your son is going to eventually get married, live with a woman, or what have you? That son, I mean, even if he does get married or whatever, they may divorce. His spouse may get sick or something and pass away, and so these are the things that he know how to do. I used to date this guy that um knew how to sew real good. I mean, as far as hand sewing, he sewed up a pocket on his uniform, on his scrubs, right? And when he sewed it, I promise you, it looked just like it was done on a sewing machine. And I was very impressed. And he told me, yeah, my mother taught me how to sew because she said I may get a wife or something that's lazy or don't want to do these things or don't know how to do these things. And I was like, that was real smart on your mom. I dated another guy who kept his house immaculate and could cook his ass off. And he was the same way. His mother taught him those things because he should not wait on a woman to do those things. And I feel like that too. If you have sons, um, I think that you should teach your son, like I said, how to cook, how to clean, how to do laundry, how to sew, how to keep a clean house, really good hygiene. The same thing that you would teach your daughters, you should teach your sons. Because like I said, you never know. They may be by themselves or they may get a woman that don't know how to do those things. So this article, what are gender roles? Gender roles Gender roles in society means how we're expected to act, speak, dress, groom, and conduct ourselves based upon our assigned sex. For example, girls and women are generally expected to dress in typical feminine ways and be polite, accommodating, and nurturing. Men are generally expected to be strong, aggressive, and bold. Every society, ethnic group, and culture has gender role expectations, but they can be different from group to group. They can also change in some societies over. I'm sorry. They can also change in the same society over time. For example, pink used to be considered a masculine color in the U.S., while blue was considered feminine. I don't think that's right. Back in the day, you didn't find men in pink. But okay, how do gender stereotypes affect people? A stereotype is a widely accepted judgment or bias about a person or a group, even though it's overly simplified and not always accurate. Stereotypes about gender can cause unequal and unfair treatment because of a person's gender. This is called sexism. There are four basic kinds of gender stereotypes. One, personality traits. For example, women are often expected to be accommodating and emotional, while men are usually expected to be self-confident and aggressive. Two, domestic behaviors. For example, some people expect that women will take care of the children, cook, clean the home, while men take care of finances, work on the car, and do home repairs. Number three, occupations. Some people are quick to assume that teachers and nurses are women and that pilots, doctors, and engineers are men. Number four, physical appearance. For example, women are expected to be thin and graceful, while men are expected to be tall and muscular. Men and women also expect to dress and groom in the ways that are stereotypical to their gender. Men wearing pants and short hairstyles, women wearing dresses and makeup. Hyperfemininity is the exaggeration of stereotyped behavior that's believed to be feminine. Hyperfeminine folks exaggerate the qualities that believed to be feminine. This may include being passive, naive, sexually inexperienced, soft, flirtatious, graceful, nurturing, and accepting. Hypermasculinity is the exaggeration of stereotype behavior that believed to be masculine. Hypermasculine folks exaggerate the qualities they believe to be masculine. They believe they're supposed to compete with other men and um, dominate feminine folks by being aggressive, worldly, sexually experienced, insensitive, physically imposing, ambitious, and demanding. These exaggerated gender stereotypes can make relationships between people difficult. Hyperfeminine folks are more likely to endure physical and emotional abuse from their partners. Hypermasculine folks are more likely to be physically and emotionally abusive to their partners. Extreme gender stereotypes are harmful because they do not allow people to fully express themselves and their emotions. For example, it's harmful to masculine folks to feel that they're not allowed to cry or express sensitive emotions. And it's harmful to feminine folks to feel that they're not allowed to be independent, smart, or assertive. Breaking down the gender stereotypes allows everyone to be their best selves. How can I fight gender stereotypes? You probably see gender stereotypes all around you. You might also have seen or experienced sexism or discrimination based on gender. There are ways to challenge these stereotypes to help everyone, no matter their gender or gender identity, feel equal and valued as people. Number one, point it out. Magazines, TV, films, and the internet are full of negative gender stereotypes. Sometimes these stereotypes are hard for people to see unless they're pointed out. Be that person. Talk with friends and family members about the stereotypes you see and how others understand, and help others understand how sexism and gender stereotypes can be harmful. Number two, be a living example. Be a role model for your friends and family. Respect people regardless of their gender identity. Create a safe space for people to express themselves and their true qualities, regardless of what society gender stereotypes and expectations are. Number three, speak up. If someone is making a sexist joke and comments, whether online or in person, challenge them. Number four, give it a try. If you want to do something that is not normally associated with your gender, think about whether you'll be safe doing it. If you think you will, give it a try. People will learn from example. If you've been struggling with gender or gender identity and expectations, you're not alone. It may help you talk to a trusted parent, friend, family member, teacher, or counselor. So, example of gender stereotypes. These are actually four. Is it four? I think it's four. Girls should play with dolls and boys should play with trucks. Boys should be directed to like blue and green, girls toward red and pinks. Boys should not wear dresses or other clothes typically associated with girls' clothes. That was actually only three. Where's the fourth one? Okay, during youth, girls are better at reading and boys are better at math. How is that a gender role? Girls should be well behaved, boys are expected to act out. Girls are not as interested as boys in STEM subjects. Boys should engage in sports and refrain from more creative pursuits. Boys and men are expected to use violence and aggression to prove their manliness. A boy that doesn't use violence or aggression is an understandable target for bullying. Girls should be thin and beautiful to make them appealing to men. Gender roles traditionally for men to be masculine, they are expected to display attributes such as strength, power, and competitiveness, and less openly display emotion and affection, especially toward other men. How are gender roles important? Gender roles are cultured and personal. They determine how males and females should think, speak, dress, and interact with within the context of society. Learning plays a role in this process of shaping gender roles. These gender schemes are deeply embedded cognitive frameworks regarding what defines masculine and feminine. What is a traditional gender role? A traditional gender role views a man as a protector, a procreator, and a provider, and the woman as pretty and polite, but not too aggressive, not too outspoken, and not too smart. So that's just like in the African community, some of the Indian communities, you have those husband and wives that, again, the husband goes out and do the hunting or working or whatever it is that their culture does as far as providing for the family, and the woman again takes care of the home and the children and all of that, and that's how their culture actually is. Now, in one day at my job, um, we had an African couple come in, and they both came to my desk, and I'm speaking to the young lady, but her husband kept answering me, and I was like kind of looking at him like, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to her. And so um I would say something else to the young lady, and then again her husband will respond. And it kind of frustrated me because I didn't know um about their culture. As far as some cultures, the men speak for the women. And I had to learn that. We actually took a cultural competency class at my job, and we do have a lot of diverse people at my job, and some of them are African, but we never actually sat down and discussed that this is their what they do as far as their culture and things like that. The men actually speak for the women, so I had to kind of learn that the hard way. And as I was getting frustrated, like, girl, can't you talk for yourself? But then I realized, that that's what it was. So yeah, I had to learn that. What are six? What are the six main genders? There are many different gender identities, including. Let's I didn't ask you about gender identity. We're gonna skip that. This is getting into as far as um, same sex things, and we're not getting into that. Um, what is gender role in the family? Gender roles, what it means to be a boy or a girl, or somewhere else in gender spectrum, shape all our relationships, especially with our families. Gender role influences partners to share household chores, and how family members communicate with one another, and how parents interact with their children. I don't know, because it's starting to get into gender identity, and we're not talking about gender identity. Yeah, we're not getting into gender identity. That's a little out of our scope there. So, okay, guys. So, yeah, what I'm reading here is it's kind of getting a little deeper than what we're actually talking about. So, um, yeah, so it's getting a little deeper into gender identity, and like I said, we're not discussing that. We're not going to touch bases on that. So yeah, do you guys have gender roles in your home? If so, comment down below. Let me know, how does that work out for you? Do you are you okay with it? Um, is your spouse okay with it? Who decided that? Is that like your religious aspect? Were you raised that way? Are you raising your children that way, or what have you? So yeah, comment down below. And thank you guys for tuning in this evening. Um, we have a couple more episodes to go before we take our break. Um, I think it's maybe about 2 or 3 more before we take our break. And like I said, guys, comment down below about the gender roles. How do you feel about that? So we're going to get out of here. Yeah, and I guess I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.